Did you know that strawberries rank in the top 5 of the most pesticide-contaminated fruits in the US, according to the Environmental Working Group? That means, while we're popping them into smoothies, layering them on yogurt, or tossing them into our salads, we may unknowingly be feeding our bodies more than just antioxidants. We could be triggering inflammation, gut imbalances, and even skin flare-ups, especially after age 60. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, and welcome to the Shigeki Podcast, where modern science meets timeless wisdom for better aging. I'm here today with my dear friend, longevity expert, and someone who spent a lifetime helping others stay sharp and strong into their 90s, Dr. Shigeki Hinohara.
Thank you, Dr. Hyman. Strawberries may look innocent, but like many things in life, how we use them matters more than what they are. Especially as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to sugar, to acidity, to the way food interacts with our gut joints and immune system. And yet, strawberries are everywhere, in breakfast bowls, protein shakes, detox juices, even anti-aging skincare products. But here's what most people don't realize. There are 8 common mistakes that quietly turn this sweet fruit into a source of inflammation.
In today's episode, we're going to break those mistakes down one by one. You'll learn why strawberries can become a problem food for seniors, especially if you deal with joint pain, gut issues, or skin sensitivity, how they interact with your immune system, blood sugar, and histamine response, and most importantly, simple science-backed ways to keep strawberries in your life without triggering damage. And if you're someone who eats strawberries to stay young, fight wrinkles, or boost vitamin C, hit like, subscribe, and share this episode right now. You may be eating them the wrong way, and your body's been trying to tell you all along.
Let's start with the basics, why strawberries have earned the title of a superfood in the first place. These little red fruits are absolutely loaded with vitamin C, one of the most powerful antioxidants for the immune system and skin repair. They also contain anthocyanins, which give them that vibrant color and help protect blood vessels, and quercetin, a natural anti-inflammatory compound that supports cardiovascular health. Plus, the fiber in strawberries is great for digestion and blood sugar control, in theory. But that's the key word, isn't it? In theory. Because after age 60, the body changes. What used to nourish us in our 30s and 40s may start to act differently in our 60s and beyond. That's why strawberries, despite their reputation, can become a hidden trigger for many older adults, especially when they're eaten too often or in the wrong form.
Exactly. Let's take digestion, for instance. As we age, stomach acid tends to decline, and the gut lining becomes more sensitive. Strawberries, while rich in fiber, contain a fair amount of insoluble fiber and fruit acids, both of which can irritate a sluggish or sensitive digestive system. That means bloating, reflux, or even mild cramping for some seniors. Not to mention the natural sugars in strawberries, mostly fructose, can lead to post-meal blood sugar spikes. That's especially important for people managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Even a healthy fruit like strawberries can raise glucose levels if the rest of the meal is unbalanced. And then there's histamine, a big issue that gets overlooked. Strawberries are considered histamine liberators, meaning they can trigger the release of histamine in the body even if you're not allergic. For someone over 60 with thinning skin aching joints or low-grade inflammation, that means more rashes, more stiffness, or mysterious itching after meals.
It's a reminder that not all superfoods are super for everyone, especially not for seniors. What works for a young athletic adult might quietly cause chaos in a body that's more delicate, more reactive. But don't worry, we're not saying give up strawberries altogether. Coming up next, we're going to walk you through 8 common strawberry mistakes that silently damage the body and how to fix them without giving up the flavor you love. Stay with us.
Let's start with the most common and most underestimated. It's not washing your strawberries properly. It sounds simple, even harmless. But here's the truth year after year. Strawberries top the dirty dozen list, meaning they're one of the most pesticide-contaminated fruits in the supermarket. And the scary part, these chemicals don't just sit on the surface, they can sink into the soft flesh of the fruit.
Exactly. When we eat strawberries that haven't been cleaned thoroughly, we may be ingesting residual herbicides and insecticides, invisible, tasteless, and odorless. But inside the body, they're far from silent. These chemicals can disrupt the gut barrier, triggering what's known as leaky gut. That's when microscopic particles escape the intestine and enter the bloodstream, setting off low-grade inflammation. And over time, that can lead to a whole host of seemingly unrelated symptoms like chronic fatigue, bloating, skin flare-ups, even increased food sensitivities. Most people have no idea. It's the unwashed berries in their morning smoothie that are setting them off.
But the solution is simple and doesn't require buying everything organic. You can soak strawberries in a mix of warm water and sea salt, or use a baking soda rinse. Just let them sit for about 10 minutes, then rinse thoroughly. This helps reduce the pesticide load significantly. So, before you bite into that sweet red fruit, remember that it's not just what you eat, it's how you prepare it that protects your health. Let's move to mistake number 2, and this one's about your timing.
Let's talk about frozen strawberries. They're super convenient, affordable, and available year-round. But here's the catch. Most packaged frozen strawberries in grocery stores are sweetened. That means they're soaked in syrup or blended with added sugar, sometimes even artificial colorings or preservatives. And many people don't realize that those little bags labeled strawberries actually contain a dessert, not a fruit. When you add sugar, especially high fructose corn syrup or processed cane sugar to strawberries, you're changing how the body processes them. The natural antioxidants are drowned out by the metabolic stress that added sugars bring.
Here's what happens behind the scenes. The excess fructose from that sweetened syrup travels straight to your liver. Over time, it contributes to fatty liver insulin resistance and even increased LDL cholesterol. And if you're over 60 with a slower metabolism and more sensitive blood vessels, the damage accumulates faster. Not to mention the artificial colors used in some pre-packaged frozen blends. These additives can trigger low-grade inflammation, itchy skin, or rashes, especially in people with sensitive immune systems.
So, what's the fix? Always read the label. Look for unsweetened or 100% strawberries on frozen fruit bags. Better yet, freeze fresh strawberries yourself during peak season and skip the syrups if your smoothie needs more sweetness. Add half a banana or a few blueberries instead. Up next, we'll cover a mistake people make when pairing strawberries with breakfast and how it messes with your blood sugar all morning long.
Next, here's a surprising one: eating strawberries on an empty stomach. Sounds innocent, right? They're light hydrating and packed with vitamins. But for many people, especially after 60, this habit can actually trigger digestive discomfort instead of delivering health benefits. That's because strawberries are naturally high in organic acids like citric acid and malic acid. When your stomach is empty and unprotected, these acids can irritate the stomach lining, causing sudden cramping or a sour stomach. And if your gut is already sensitive, or you have a history of gastritis or reflux, it gets worse.
Exactly. The acid can also disrupt the pH balance in your small intestine, especially if combined with coffee or citrus around the same time. That pH imbalance throws off digestion, slows nutrient absorption, and may even lead to bloating or mild diarrhea for some people. Not to mention, when your stomach contracts in response to acid irritation, it can feel like sharp hunger pangs, nausea, or even acid reflux. And most people never trace it back to that healthy handful of berries they grabbed first thing in the morning.
So, what's the smarter way to eat strawberries? Pair them with a light base like a bowl of warm oatmeal, a few spoonfuls of plain yogurt, or a slice of whole grain toast with almond butter. That buffer helps protect your digestive lining and keeps your gut stable. Think of strawberries as a companion fruit, not a solo act, especially when your stomach is just waking up. Coming up next, we'll talk about a mistake involving strawberries in your favorite salad and how it could be silently triggering inflammation.
Another mistake that slips under the radar is eating overripe strawberries. I get it, they look juicy, soft, and sweet. But when strawberries go past their prime, they can quietly become a breeding ground for histamine reactions, especially in older adults. That's because overripe strawberries tend to ferment quickly, even at room temperature. Their high sugar content feeds natural yeasts and surface microbes, making them more likely to contain microbial byproducts, including histamine-like compounds.
And mention to the body's response. Not always dramatic, but definitely noticeable over time. Things like skin rashes, headaches, or that annoying post-meal runny nose. Some people experience itchy eyes, facial flushing, or just feel foggy after eating sweet, soft berries and never think the fruit is the problem. For those over 60, this reaction can be stronger. The immune system is more reactive, and histamine clearance slows with age. So even a mild overripe fruit can tip the balance, triggering what feels like seasonal allergies. But it's really your snack that's to blame. So, what's the simple fix, doctor?
Choose strawberries that are firm, bright, and evenly red. Avoid ones that are mushy dark at the tip or have a wine-like smell. And if they've been sitting in the fridge a few days and start to get too soft, use them in cooked recipes like chia jam or oatmeal toppings where heat can reduce microbial load. Bottom line, fresh is best, but firm is safer. And now let's move to mistake number 5. A pairing you may think is heart-healthy but might actually backfire after 60.
Now this one surprises a lot of people, even the health-conscious ones. Strawberries are low-calorie, packed with antioxidants, and naturally sweet. So most assume there's no such thing as too many. But when you eat more than 6 to 8 berries a day, especially every single day, you might be overloading your body with something hidden.
Yes, and that something is a combination of fructose and oxalates. Let's break it down. While the natural sugar in strawberries seems harmless, too much fructose can overwhelm your liver, especially in older adults, and lead to fatigue or post-meal crashes. And oxalates. They are naturally occurring compounds in strawberries. In small amounts, they are not a problem, but eaten in excess, oxalates can bind to calcium in your gut, preventing absorption. Worse, they can accumulate in your kidneys, forming tiny crystals, which may turn into kidney stones over time. That's why some people feel lower back pain or a sharp sensation when urinating after consistently eating too many strawberries. They don't connect the dots because strawberries are marketed as gentle and cleansing. But for older kidneys, moderation matters.
So here's the sweet spot: stick to 5 or 6 berries per serving, and avoid eating them daily for weeks on end. Give your kidneys a break and rotate your fruits like swapping in kiwi, blueberries, or green apples. Next, we'll tackle a mistake you might be drinking, not chewing. Yes, strawberry smoothies can be a hidden sugar bomb. Let's unpack that.
It's a classic combo: strawberries and milk. Whether it's a smoothie, a milkshake, or a bowl of strawberry yogurt, people love the pairing. But for older adults, this seemingly harmless mix can cause more trouble than they realize.
Exactly. The problem lies in the chemistry between casein, a protein found in cow's milk, and the natural acids in strawberries, like citric and malic acid. When combined, they can form a thick curd or precipitate in the stomach. That's not dangerous on its own, but it's harder to digest, especially for aging digestive systems. And when digestion slows, fermentation starts. The undigested mix can ferment in your gut, feeding unwanted bacteria and creating gas, bloating, or even mild diarrhea. It's not food poisoning, but it sure feels uncomfortable. Not to mention, this combo may increase sensitivity reactions in people who are borderline lactose, intolerant, or sensitive to casein. That's why some folks feel itchy flushed or congested after a healthy strawberry milkshake.
So what's the alternative? Try plant-based options like almond milk, coconut yogurt, or oat milk. These don't curdle the same way, and they're generally easier on digestion, especially in the morning. And remember, just because something tastes good together doesn't mean your gut agrees. But even fresh strawberries can be risky, especially for people already dealing with joint pain or arthritis. Let's talk about how one small fruit can quietly trigger a flare-up.
Most people think fruits like strawberries are anti-inflammatory, right, rich in antioxidants, high in vitamin C. But if your joints are already inflamed, strawberries might actually make things worse. That's because strawberries, despite their benefits, are naturally high in histamine. And for people who are sensitive, especially those over 60, histamine can act like a silent trigger that fuels inflammation in the joints.
What happens is your immune system is already on alert during an arthritis flare. Then you eat a bowl of strawberries and your body sees the histamine as another signal to send white blood cells to the joints. That leads to increased swelling, stiffness, and even morning pain that you may not connect to your diet. Some people notice their knees ache more the next day, or their hands feel puffy and tight after what they thought was a healthy snack. It's not an allergy, it's an inflammatory response in a sensitive system.
So, the advice is simple. You need to avoid strawberries during active joint inflammation. When your symptoms are under control, you can slowly reintroduce maybe just 2 or 3 berries at a time and watch how your body responds. Because food is powerful medicine, but timing matters. Next, let's look at one more strawberry mistake that happens before you eat poor storage. It can undo all your good intentions.
Let's wrap up with one mistake that sounds simple, but it's silently sabotaging your health. It's how you store your strawberries. Because even if you buy the freshest organic berries, the way you wash, refrigerate, or freeze them can either protect or damage their nutrients. Strawberries are delicate. If left out too long, they can easily ferment. If you wash them first and then refrigerate them, the moisture that remains can encourage mold growth. And if you keep them near foods that have strong odors or are prone to cross-contamination, like raw meat or soiled vegetables, the risk of contamination increases.
Here's the big issue. Over time, improperly stored, strawberries lose vitamin C, develop surface mold, and in some cases accumulate invisible mycotoxins. These compounds can irritate the gut, weaken immunity, and even disrupt hormones in older adults. Many people also make the mistake of freezing strawberries after they're already soft or overripe. When you thaw them, they become mushy, watery, and lose flavonoids and antioxidants, the berry's most valuable qualities.
So what's the fix? Store them unwashed in a breathable container lined with paper towels. Wash only right before eating. If you freeze, do it when the berries are still firm and use within 2 to 3 weeks. Remember, the journey from farm to fridge matters. A healthy strawberry is only helpful if it stays fresh, safe, and bioavailable. And now that we've covered the 8 hidden mistakes, let's move on to how to enjoy strawberries the right way after 60.
Now that we've uncovered the sneaky mistakes people make with strawberries, let's talk about how to actually enjoy them the right way, especially after 60. Because truthfully, strawberries can still be one of the best fruits for your heart, your skin, even your gut, but only if you treat them with a little more wisdom. The first thing to think about is timing. Most people reach for fruit in the morning, but for older adults, that's actually the worst time. Your digestion is still waking up, and starting the day with acidic fruit on an empty stomach can easily lead to bloating, acid reflux, or blood sugar spikes. Instead, strawberries are best enjoyed around midday, say, after a light lunch, or as an early afternoon snack. That's when your digestive system is active and can handle the natural fruit acids better.
And we also have to talk about quantity. Strawberries are small, but it's easy to overdo them. You only need 5 or 6 per serving, and it's not necessary to eat them every single day. Your body benefits more when you give it variety and rhythm. Taking a break for a day or two helps prevent histamine buildup and keeps your metabolism responsive. What matters just as much is how you eat strawberries. Don't eat them alone. Pair them with something that slows down how quickly the sugar gets absorbed. One of my favorite combinations is fresh strawberries with a spoonful of chia seeds and a little unsweetened almond milk. That mix gives you fiber, healthy fat, and a gentler glucose curve. Or toss some sliced strawberries into your morning oatmeal with flaxseed, simple, nourishing, and easy on the gut.
And when it comes to buying strawberries, organic is best, or at least local berries from the farmer's market. The commercial ones often carry a heavy load of pesticide residue, and that's not something aging kidneys or immune systems can easily deal with. If you're looking for a healing recipe that's both comforting and effective, here's one I often recommend to my patients. Take 3 medium strawberries, mash them slightly. Stir in 1 tablespoon of chia seeds and pour in about 150 milliliter of unsweetened almond milk. Let it sit overnight in the fridge, and by morning, you've got a cool, fiber-rich chia pudding that's not only delicious but also feeds your gut bacteria, helps regulate blood sugar, and supports gentle detox for the liver.
That one small bowl can actually do a lot. It's gentle, it's refreshing, and most importantly, it respects your body's current needs. Because after 60, it's not just about what you eat, it's about whether your body can use it well. When you treat strawberries like nourishment, not just a sweet treat, that's when you really unlock their power. Coming up, we'll leave you with our final thoughts and a simple takeaway that can change how you approach every bite from now on.
All right, strawberries are powerful, but only when used wisely. That's the real message today. They're not just sweet little fruits to toss on your yogurt or blend into a smoothie without thought. They contain compounds that can heal, strengthen, and protect. But when misused, they can just as easily trigger inflammation, disrupt digestion, and quietly burden your system, especially as you age. It's not about fear, it's about awareness. One simple fruit can either support your body's healing or quietly drain it, depending on how you prepare it when you eat it and what you pair it with. That's the part most people overlook.
And we're not saying strawberries are bad. No, they're actually a gift from nature. But your body isn't just reacting to what you eat. It's responding to how, when, and with what mindset you eat it. After 60, your body changes. Your gut, your skin, your joints, your hormones, they all become more sensitive. What used to feel fine at 30 might now lead to bloat rashes or fatigue. That's not weakness. That's wisdom from your biology asking you to adjust.
So, here's your action plan. Look back on those 8 mistakes. Are you washing your strawberries right? Are you pairing them with dairy? Are you unknowingly overdosing on fructose? You don't need to cut them out completely, just shift the habit. Small tweaks, big results. If you love strawberries or eat them often, this is your moment to rethink your routine. Comment below. Which mistake surprised you most? What will you change tomorrow? Like this episode if it helped you learn something new. Subscribe for weekly insights and share this with someone who thinks strawberries are always safe.